Ladies, it's your time to shine with all things fabulous with First for Women on Afternoon Express. For insurance with a host of fabulous benefits, call 0861 11 18 44 or SMS FIRST to 49267.
Good afternoon, South Africa. Lovely to be back in your homes. It's Afternoon Express right here on SABC3. It's a brand new week, and boy, are we back. I'm Mpumalanga.
And I'm Bonnie Mbuli. I hope you had a great weekend. And if you had a bit of a cheat weekend and you overdid it a little bit, don't worry. We're going to inspire to get back onto the fitness horse again.
Absolutely. It is Motivation Monday on the show today. So we're going to kickstart your week in a very positive way. We're going to inspire. We're going to celebrate. Talking about celebrating, we've got a very phenomenal young woman in studio with us today. Her name is Rolene Strauss, Miss World 2014. She found time in a very busy schedule, traveling all around the world to come sit with us and have a chat with us right here in the loft. So don't go anywhere. Very excited about that.
Yeah, for sure. And Rolene and I brought along our gym gear. So we'll be showing you some quick and effective workout ideas that you can use while traveling or in the comfort of your own home.
I can't wait to see that.
I know. I love it. But of course, we're not alone.
Absolutely.
We're with our co-host who's turning into an extraordinary chef, Danilo.
Well, I don't know about that. No pressure, ladies. Welcome to Afternoon Express. My name is Danilo Acquista. I can't believe it's a brand new week already, and we're very excited to sit down Professor Tim Noakes and Jono Proudfoot today. We're speaking all things banting with the two of you. Your book that was obviously released together, it's now been published independently. Very exciting. Are you guys looking forward to sharing some information?
Very much so.
And Jono, I know you're going to be cooking us a pasta that is carb-free. How does that happen?
It's a no pasta, so we use vegetables instead of pasta.
Sure, hey? The Italians out there are pointing fingers. I'm sure they're not very upset about that. But also Claire Winstanley's in the studio with us today. And in the kitchen, what are we making today that's also carb-friendly? Because we've also got banting to worry about today.
So like Bonnie and Brang said, we've overindulged on the weekend. So I thought something little to just kind of curb those sweet cravings, but it's not going to set you over the edge.
Yum.
So a little gluten-free coconut macaroon.
Oh, lovely. Awesome. Looking forward to that. So don't forget, if you guys want to cook along with us live on air, www.afternoonexpress.co.za. All of our recipes and shopping lists are available for you. Download them, print them, use them at home as often as you can. Otherwise, you can tweet us at Afternoon Chat. Use the hashtag Afternoon Express. Find us on Facebook. You can comment on all the posts that are available for you over there. And don't forget the number 083-913-3728. You can chat to any of our experts, Rolene or Tim Noakes, in the building today. But right now, standing by on our couch, we've got our first guest.
Thank you very much, Delino. We are live and we do love interacting with you, so do what you need to do. But we're very honored to have on our couch today a young woman who has become literally an ambassador for our beautiful country. She's been traveling all around the world, making a positive difference since she was crowned Miss World in 2014. Joining me now is the beautiful, the inspirational, the gorgeous Rolene Strauss. Lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you.
It's so strange having to call you Miss World. I mean, it's been a whirlwind for you ever since you were crowned on that particular day. How has it been for you? You're living in London, correct?
Well, at the moment, I don't really have a home. So it's very difficult living out of a suitcase. So basically, wherever I lay my head down is where my home is for that evening. I'm traveling all over the world, in between my trips, coming back to South Africa, having my stylist help me get some clothing ready for the next trip. So it's just been amazing, a whirlwind, like you said, but an experience of a lifetime.
I mean, the last time I saw you was the Miss South Africa pageant, and then later on you were Miss World, and I have never had the opportunity to sit down and ask you how it has changed your life.
It's literally opened so many doors for me. I think opportunities that I might have never had before. When it comes to medicine, when it comes to giving back. It's just amazing to know that I can change so many more lives than I would have ever thought of changing.
Absolutely. And you know, the Miss World pageant is known beauty with a purpose. And you travel all across the country, visiting gorgeous countries. Your travels are quite interesting. Any country that has stood out for you, a special memory that lives in your heart?
Oh, I really can't choose between anyone. I remember my trip to India as clear as yesterday. It was just amazing going back into the tribal areas, a small town called Sherpur next to Mumbai. Just going there, looking at a water conservation project that they had there, going to the Philippines, opening a pediatric cancer unit, things like that would, I would remember for the rest of my life. And whenever I go back to a country that I've visited before, I will have friends that I can go to.
That's awesome.
So I will have a home all over the world.
You know what's funny, right, is that Rolene has a very hectic fear of tsunamis, and you're always in Asia. Obviously, we
Yes.
know that's like tsunami central. Have you? Has it been uncomfortable for you being up there?
It has quite a bit. I try not to speak about it, but
Yeah.
you know, the one thing that I tell myself is that there are airplanes, so I can just, you know, jump into a plane as fast as I can and just fly away. So I try not to think about that.
Yeah, and I mean, your reign has been littered with a lot of awesome experiences, and I know you had quite an awkward experience with a Vietnamese billionaire and chopsticks.
Yes.
Tell me about that. What
Yes,
happened?
so we were in China, in Guangzhou, and having dinner with a billionaire. You know, you try to think of the right things to say, the way to use your chopsticks correctly.
Yeah.
And I remember taking the prawn, and the prawn just jumped over the table into the glass next to him. So, yes.
Yeah.
But I have to say my chopstick skills have improved tremendously.
I hope so. But you have so many weird experiences in restaurants where your hair caught fire as well.
Yes.
Where were you when that happened?
So I am kind of...
Klats.
Yes, I'm a klats. So luckily nothing has happened on television before. But anyways, I remember going on a first date with a wonderful guy, and I was sitting, romantic scenery. It was actually in Cape Town.
Yeah.
And there was a candle in front of me, and I just kind of leaned forward trying
And
to
then
look beautiful.
that was it.
And there was just a, you know.
That is hilarious.
Yes,
I
that
can't
is.
even imagine.
Yes.
But I mean, every time you've been interviewed, I've been, you know, watching you very closely on Instagram, on Facebook, newspapers, the internet. You always talk about your parents and how much you love them. And I know today your dad is actually leaving to go summit Kilimanjaro in celebration of Nelson Mandela
So my
Day.
dad is representing me together with the Nelson Mandela Foundation to climb Kilimanjaro for Nelson Mandela Day. So I really hope that I could go with him, but unfortunately I'm off to my next trip within the next 2 days. So they are just the most amazing people that I know. They are all about giving back to the community, giving back to my brother and me, and I think that we are where we are today because of them, and I really want to thank them for that.
And you're always open about being a test tube baby, which means you were created in the lab. Is that why you're so perfect looking and everything's like so in proportion? Your hair's so gorgeous and you're so gorgeous.
Aw, thank you. I've had a few questions, funny questions regarding that.
Yeah.
You know, some things like, are you genetically modified? Things like that. But no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just, you know, proud to say that I'm a test tube baby, and proud to announce that there is hope for parents out there that's struggling with having children, which is the best gift, you know, you could actually have.
And talking about medicine, you were still studying before you were crowned.
Yes.
Well, when you were crowned Miss South Africa and Miss World, are you going to continue studying when you're done?
So I actually spoke to the dean of the medical faculty in the Free State. So they are so happy to have me back, and I will studying. I will start my studies in the beginning of January this year. Well, actually next year, which would be quite an adjustment, but I'm looking forward to get my head back into the books.
I can't imagine you in class, right, and you're studying with Miss World. Are you nervous? And what people are going to say, how you're going to be accepted and
The worst thing is
received?
to know that my classmates will graduate this year, end of this year, and I will be there with new classmates a bit younger than me, and hopefully they will get to see the Rolene and not necessarily the Miss World.
That's amazing. We have a question actually about your studies on Twitter. It's from Sanele Sanele Acquisto 1. Yes, Sanele. and then tag Danilo and all of us. Says, how did you manage studying medicine and finding time to model all at the same time?
Well, I wouldn't say that I really modeled a lot while I was studying. I did prepare for entering Miss South Africa, but I did some modeling when I was 16 years old, and I just thought that that wasn't for me. It was all about what I looked like, nothing else. And becoming Miss South Africa and Miss World is more about what you can give, about what you can say, and how you can represent your country. So, you know, while I was studying, studies came first, and now Miss World comes first until next year, obviously.
Amazing. Well, you're doing such a fantastic job. But right now we have to go to a commercial break, but you are still going to be in the loft. If you have any question for Rolene, you know exactly where to find us at Afternoon Chat using our official hashtag Afternoon Express. But the question I want to know, you guys know about this competition, very excited to have it right here on the show. Would you love, that's the question, to experience a day in my life? Then make sure that you catch our Revlon Foundation Friday series right here on Afternoon Express and enter our competition on Twitter. Do it right now. All you need to do is tweet us a picture of you holding a Revlon Color Stay foundation and make sure that you tag us at Afternoon Chat and use the official hashtags, hashtag Foundation Fridays, hashtag Love Is On, and you, plus your plus one, could win the ultimate celebrity experience, or you'll be treated to 24 hours of luxury. Competition runs until the 21st of August. Find all details and T's and C's on our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. Don't miss out on this one. It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so make sure that you get snapping. Like, you know, me sitting right here with Nolene. You never know what happens in my life. But after the break, Claire makes us that delicious low-carb dessert, and we'll chat all things banting with Professor Tim Noakes. Don't move.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express South Africa. So myself and Claire have decided, seeing as it's Monday, we wanted to make something lemony, something delicious, and an awesome treat for a brand new week. So we're making lemon coconut macaroons. Now, I understood macaroons to have almonds in them, and when I was in France, I remember buying like their super expensive ones, and they were really, really yummy, powdery. You've gone for something very different.
Okay, so I don't know how to say the French one properly. Macaron? Macaron?
Macaron.
It's typically with almond flour. Yes, correct.
Okay.
So the coconut macaroon is made with coconut.
Okay, amazing. So let's get started. What are we going to be doing?
So like you said, something, you know, Monday we want to eat a little bit healthier, but we're all human, and you want something sweet.
Yeah.
So this is my version of something sweet on a Monday that's not going to set you right over the edge. So while I get whisking up on the egg whites, you are going to zest some of the lemon into the coconut.
Okay.
So that comes our freshness for our Monday morning treats. That's really going to just kind of lift it up and add a yummy, yummy flavor to that. So we whisk this up.
was people speaking about it on Facebook and on Twitter the other day. I get a couple of tweets, people saying like, dang, you're so messy in the kitchen. Like, don't be so messy. I think you've become like the messy chef here with you two.
Really?
Yeah.
I tend to mess quite a bit myself.
Well,
I don't know,
you.
maybe we're just not the best pair in the kitchen.
Well, thanks for holding this for me.
No, we're doing a good job here. So far, no egg out the bowl and no lemon zest. Oh, no,
enough?
there's the lemon zest out the bowl, right over there.
Oh, right over there. It's in the sugar too, and the salt, don't you
So one
worry.
thing with one of these microplanes, what they tend to do is hold all the zest over there. So what you do is just bang it out.
Do I need more?
Go for it. This is all getting there. We're just looking for a nice sort of foamy texture. Then we're going to add in a little bit of our xylitol. Decided to go for something a little bit different than sugar today.
And funny enough, I found out the other day, the xylitol is made of bark.
Yeah, bizarrely.
Bizarre that they're making sweet things out of bark.
Okay, so a little bit of xylitol in there. Just get that. We're almost looking for a meringue sort of stage here. This is what's going to really glue the coconut together. Okay. So it's really a few ingredients that sort of come together, glue it, create a little bite-sized treat, and it's so simple, really simple and delicious.
And like obviously when you're at your study breaks or you're trying to do something at work, it's nice to pick on something that's small. You can pop the whole thing in your mouth and not feel like you have to finish the whole snack.
And the cool thing about this is that it's a few simple, small ingredients, and it actually makes quite a lot. So you can, like you said, while you're at work, take it to work and share it with people.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, so
Brownie
now
points.
you are going to fold this into here. You can just pop that all in there. And you don't want to sort of take out all of that air that you just spent so much time, well, not so much time, but, you know, a little bit of effort. And just fold this in here. Okay. And then what you're going to do, I know, how good does that smell?
It's it seems to be the flavor of the season at the moment. All these lemons and citruses. And...
Well, it's absolutely, it's in season at the moment. So it's at its freshest, it's at its fullest in terms of flavor. So you've got to just utilize that and just go really, just put it in everything you can. That's what I've kind of been doing at the moment. Okay, so now here comes your part to work on. Okay, so take that little teaspoon or tablespoon measure.
This is 1 tablespoon measure, 15 mils.
You can use anything you want really to make. You can literally just roll them in your hands. You can lay it out onto a tray and almost make like a sheet version of it and cut it into pieces. It's
whatever shape and size you want it to be.
And whatever you feel like doing, you know, whatever time you have on a Monday, let's call it that.
Make heart shapes if you have to.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so push it down. You just want to sort of compact it a little bit so it doesn't all break apart. And then either bang it out or slide it out onto the tray. There.
Bang it out. I'm a guy.
And I'm going to swap places with you.
Cool. So I can carry on doing this now.
Yes, because magically we have some over here, which I've decided to use a dark chocolate, so 70%, so not too high in cocoa butter and sugar and all that jazz.
It's a nice healthy alternative. It looks so good.
All I'm doing...
How did you get those to brown like that?
Okay, so that went in the oven at about 180 degrees, and this bakes super quick.
Okay.
Probably 5 to 7 minutes, depending on your oven. And you're literally looking for a golden color, and then that's it, it's done.
Okay, and you've also thrown in some other little nut shavings there, I see. Or...
No, that is more coconut. So once you're done there, we're just gonna, you can take a little bit more egg white, wash those, or just throw this on here with them. And these are going to toast up as well while that toasts up, and it's just kind of an extra texture to your coconut and tastes so good as well.
Lovely. So I'm going to continue to scoop these out. You said you're going to drizzle some chocolate.
I'm going to make a complete mess, but that's fine. And then...
Trust me, I like that.
What were we talking about music? And then either you can eat it as it is, like this, if you can't wait. Otherwise, pop it into the fridge just for a few minutes, 20 minutes or so, until the chocolate sets up.
Well, I don't want to jump the gun. I want to let the other ladies also taste them if we can later on. So I'm going to continue to scoop these out because I know that there's a man standing by on our couch who'd be very proud of what we're making right here.
Indeed, he will be very, very proud of you, Danilo. Thank you very much. But over the years, he has become a household name across South Africa and indeed the world, especially since the publication of his book, The Real Meal Revolution, which became the fastest-selling cookbook in South African history. Joining us on the couch is Professor of Exercise and Sports Science at the University of Cape Town and banting advocate, Professor Tim Noakes. Lovely to have you on Afternoon Express. Now, Professor, the word banting, it's on everybody's lips. Everybody's talking about it because of your research about low-carb and high-fat diets. Was there a eureka moment while you were doing research into this particular diet?
Yes, the eureka moment was in fact my own experiences. I came across a book called The New Atkins for the New You, and it was written by 3 scientists who I knew very well. And I said, but I've been raised in my medical profession telling me that Atkins, who promoted a diet that was higher in saturated fats, would kill all of us. So I said, how could these 3 scientists be involved with a guy like Atkins? And my whole career, I've always looked for paradoxes, and this was a paradox. Yeah. So I went straight and bought the book, and within 2 hours I said, that's it. This is the truth that has been hidden from me in my education, that a low-carbohydrate diet is really healthy for some people. Yeah. And it turned out that I was overweight, my running had got much worse. I decided within 10 minutes that was the last carbohydrate I was going to eat for a long time.
But Professor Tim, for everybody that's watching right now, what is banting? Where does it come from?
Well, Banting is the name of William Banting, who was the first person in 1862 to write about how he lost weight. He had done everything for 30 years. He'd done everything he was told. He was told to exercise more and eat less. He got fat. He said, I just got hungry. He bought a boat and rode up and down the Thames every day. And he said, I got incredibly fit, but I couldn't lose weight. I was always hungry. Yeah. So by chance, you see, in the 1800s, we knew that carbohydrates make you fat. And that was known. It was an accepted fact. So he went to see a surgeon who said, listen, the reason why you can't hear anymore is because there's so much fat accumulated in your ears that you've gone deaf, which wasn't quite true. But he was then put on a low-carbohydrate diet, and it worked dramatically. And he wrote a book called Letters on Corpulence, and it became the best-selling book. So this is the original diet for weight loss. And that's why when John O'Proudfoot and I wrote the book, we used the term banting, because we didn't want the name Noaks or the low-carbohydrate diet. We wanted to make the point that this is the original diet.
Yes, and people overlooked.
Absolutely. And in the 1890s, it was the diet used through medicine throughout the world. This was the diet that you used for losing weight. Unfortunately, we lost it at the end of the Second World War. We forgot that carbohydrates make you fat. We said fat makes you fat, and then we went down a disastrous route.
Yeah, and Professor Tim, you mention in your book quite a lot a term called insulin resistance. What is that, and what does that mean?
That is something I really had to learn about. And insulin resistance is a condition where you can't metabolize carbohydrate adequately. And your body, you really struggle. So if you take in carbohydrate, to get rid of it into your fat cells and into your muscles, you have to secrete the hormone insulin. Now, people who are insulin resistant like myself, and I'm profoundly insulin resistant, our insulin doesn't work. It doesn't work properly, and it works quite well when you're 20, 30, 40, but it becomes progressively less effective. Yeah. And that is a state of insulin resistance, and it is the basis for most of the chronic diseases that we are dealing with today. So I like to say that the condition is insulin resistance. It presents as heart disease. It presents as obesity. It presents as gout. But those are not the disease. The disease is insulin resistance. And you have to treat the cause. And what we're doing at the moment is we're treating the effects, not the cause. And so we give you a chemical. We give you a chemical to treat your high blood pressure. And then we wonder, actually, it doesn't work all that well. It lowers your blood pressure, but it doesn't cause you to live any longer. And the question is, why not? Because it's not treating the cause. If you're insulin resistant, you will have high blood pressure.
Yes.
You have to cut the carbohydrates.
Got you.
Then you're treating the real cause.
Yes. And talking about resistance, I mean, you know, your research and your findings and your beliefs have caused a lot of controversy, lots of noise, lots of people speaking. Why do you think it is that, you know, the world or people are so resistant in terms of the things that you've found and what you believe in?
I think the fundamental problem is that we're now treating causes. You see, we're saying treat the cause of the disease, which is insulin resistance. And you can't give a foreign chemical to hope that it's going to reverse the proper cause. So it's a fundamental question about how we practice medicine in the world. Because you see, medicine changed in the 70s. When I was trained as a doctor, the pharmaceutical industry it wasn't as strong as it is today.
Yeah.
And they produced drugs which acted well on individual causes, like, for example, bacteria. You can take a chemical and destroy a bacterium. But when you've got heart disease, you can't take a chemical that reverses all the problems. And that's where we've got it all wrong.
All right. But also, you know, with all that, Professor, you are due to go to court for a tweet that you sent out. You know, can you tell us the context of that particular tweet and why you think it upset so many people?
Well, the tweet was in response to a lady asking about how she should feed her child. And I said that, in my opinion, that is my view, that children should be weaned on a low-carbohydrate, high-fat diet, which is real foods, as described in all the books we've written. And in fact, those are the guidelines, the World Health Organization, the Canadian Pediatrics Association, and the South African guidelines. They're also the same. You must wean onto proper foods, which include meat and fish and dairy, nuts, vegetables, and some fruits, which is exactly what we describe in our book.
Raising Superheroes, which brings me to my next question. You wrote the book, Raising Superheroes, it's a kid's book, and you mentioned real foods.
Yes.
What are real foods?
Well, real foods are foods that have been alive until very recently. And by that I mean... By that I mean they haven't been processed. You see, the problem, what's happened in the last 50 years is when we said that fat was bad for you, we took fat out the diet. And we had to make foods acceptable without fat, you have to put sugar in. And we addicted our people to sugar. And that's what we're trying to make the point here. You don't eat processed foods because 80% of processed foods have sugar added. And sugar is highly addictive. And if you raise up your children on processed foods, and you weaken and you allow them to eat sugar, sweets, and cool drinks and so on. They become addicted, and that's what they will search for.
Got you. Well, Professor Tim, I have so many questions to ask you. You're 66 years old, and he's run over 70 marathons. But I want to ask you about that a little bit later. If you have any questions for Professor, you know exactly what to do, all right? Pick up the phone right now. Give us a call. Our number is 083-913-3728. After the break, Bangting chef that we spoke about earlier on, Jono Proudfoot, makes us a healthy low-carb pasta. Don't move.
South Africa, are you with us?
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. So we're back in the kitchen now, and today we're going to be making something pretty interesting. I'm pretty sure I can see my grandmother giving you the side-eye, Jono Proudfoot, because he's mentioned making a no-carb pasta today. And the Italian tradition, that's pretty much impossible. So all stakes are on you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no stakes in this one. But,
good. The puns are rolling. It's going to continue. Okay, so what are we making today?
Okay, so what we're making is a no-carbohydrate pasta. So when you're trying to give up carbohydrates and losing weight, you want less carbs and replace them with fake carbs. And if you can trick the mind, you can trick the body. So.
Also, quickly, don't forget, this recipe is on our website, www.afternoonexpress.co.za. It's also on Facebook too. So if you want to know all the quantities and how to make this yourself, it is available for you over there.
So we're going to use shaved courgettes instead of our pasta, but before we get started with that, we actually need to make our pasta sauce.
Cool, so you've got some butter boiling here.
Yeah, so I've got some butter here, and to start off the recipe, you want to saute all of your chicken in the butter, but we've sauteed our chicken in advance.
Okay.
So once you've sauteed that and your chicken's cooked through, you leave it on the side,
okay, cool.
And then you get started with adding your vegetables. So I've got about half an onion, and it's roughly chopped here. We're going to
So it's my job to spoon.
Yeah, you're the spoon guy.
Okay, so I'm the big spoon. All right.
You can be the big spoon.
Okay. So you put your onions in. I think it's also a bit of garlic. You missed a piece of garlic.
And then chuck in a nice piece of garlic there. It's
Just
fun to put in a big piece. If you chop it too small and you add it too early, it goes a little bit bitter. Remember that.
Okay, so you must try and like just give it a quick.
Yeah, give it a little smash.
Punch.
And then leeks and celery. You're gonna add that in and just give it a good stir.
Okay. And you almost want these to become opaque. You want them to just sort of settle.
Saute them
Wilt
down, get
and
them nice
settle.
and soft, and if there's a little bit of caramelization, that's fine. That adds a little bit of the natural sweetness, which you know obviously
Yes.
we don't get from sugar while we're
Smells
banting.
amazing.
Okay, so you're going to saute that for about 5 minutes.
Okay.
And once it gets nice and soft, we're going to add in our wine and our stock and reduce it down by half.
So do you wait for these to reduce down before you add your wine in your stock, or do you put that in now?
No. Well, in the real world, we would
Do it
wait
afterwards.
another 10 minutes.
We've got one prepared yet, so
oh
do you
my
want me to
goodness.
swap them around?
Look what we've got. Yeah,
Okay.
let's swap them around. So wait,
So I've
hang
got
on, let's
this one
complete the step.
Oh, okay, let's complete this one, yeah.
So we put the stock in,
Okay.
and then we put the wine in,
Ooh.
and you bring
Oh,
it to
you
the
didn't leave
boil.
me any.
Oh, sorry, man.
It's been a tough weekend, my friend. Tough
It's
weekend.
not even dinner time yet. Okay, you bring it to the boil, and then you simmer it down. And miraculously,
We have one complete.
oh my goodness, look
Ta-da!
how quickly we got that.
Look how quickly that worked. Okay, so
Okay.
we'll dust that off.
So now we bring this back up to the heat, and we're going to add in our cream. So remember, we've sauteed leeks, onions, celery, we've added in the garlic, caramelized it, we've added the chicken stock and the wine, we've reduced it down by half, and now we're going to add in some cream.
Cream.
With lots of good fat in that cream.
Yes. Okay.
Getting it nice and delicious.
I love creamy pasta sauces, by the way. I know it's not the traditional way to get things done, but I love it. So, brownie points, you're winning here.
Cool, man. And then we're going to chuck in about a teaspoon of dried mixed herbs.
Okay.
And a
Give that a nice stir
good
up.
whack of Dijon mustard. Now, the Dijon mustard's going to obviously add a really nice edge to the sauce, but it also helps thicken it.
I thought Dijon was like is granular.
Dijon, no, that's whole grain mustard. Dijon mustard is mustard from Dijon in France. I thought you'd been to France.
Yeah,
man.
I went. No, I actually didn't go to France. I landed at the airport and ate a macaroon in the airport. That was it. I'm a fake what's a
fake French frogman? French frogman. Okay, so now, can I demonstrate to you the pasta?
Yes.
Okay, so now instead of normal pasta, we've got courgette noodles. Now this is basically carb-free or low-carb pappardelle. If anyone knows what pasta pappardelle is like. You're Italian, aren't you?
Si.
There we go. So how you do that? Very, very easy. You just take a normal courgette and a normal peeler, and you just peel the courgette.
Okay, skins and all, no.
Skins and all.
Obviously, wash your courgettes beforehand. Which
Yeah,
we've
sometimes
done,
they're sticky and sandy.
Yeah, okay.
And that's how you make your pasta.
You've left the stem on. Is that just to kind of help you with gripping? And
Yeah, it gives you a good grip. A good grip down the.
a good grip on the shaft as you are grating it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't want to.
Let's move this on very quickly. Okay. We've got all of ours prepared. I'm glad this is all done because it seems like a tedious process, but obviously so healthy in the end, so it's worthwhile.
So while that's reducing, we're going to put it on the side here.
When do we put the chicken in?
We're going to put the chicken in last.
Last. Okay, cool. So this must go back down here.
Okay, and then you got to get your pan very, very hot. The key is to get your pan
Turn
hot.
this up nice and hot for you.
Because if you put them into a cold pan, they're going to release all of their liquid, and then they're going to boil. So, and then they kind of go mushy, and they're not that lekker.
Let's wait to see when this one gets nice and hot.
Yeah, and the best way to see that it's getting hot is to add in the butter and wait for it to bubble very, very fast.
Okay. This is almost like you would be boiling your pasta, right?
Sauce is perfect. Maybe just need to add a little bit of salt and pepper.
Okay, we'll find that out.
Imaginary salt and pepper.
Or maybe some people don't like the salt and pepper and things, so what we can do is on the table, everyone can just add it to their flavor, I suppose.
Absolutely.
No one's going to judge you. It's TV, people can see it, they don't have to taste it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay, cool. So this is starting to get nice and hot. We can see it's starting to fry. There we go. Our butter's getting nice and warm.
Some other examples. So if you don't really want to make your low-carb or carb-free pappardelle, you can also get these peelers that have teeth on them. Oh, and as you peel the courgette, you actually get what
like
I like to call courgette. So it's like courgette spaghetti.
I've met my match in the kitchen, South Africa. I have indeed. Okay, that's interesting, man. So it's really cool. So it's not actually as hard as I see it. I see it's a big thing now. People are starting to make pastas out of all of their vegetables. So it's not a big thing.
You can also do finely shredded cabbage.
Yes. Okay.
Kabedi.
Just put that in there. Just put those in. And when we pop that in now, I know all that's going to happen rest is these are going to settle. That's going to be added to the pasta sauce with all the chicken, and we're basically done and dusted. Those are kind of going to start wilting and become almost like a pasta. So I'm going to prepare the rest of this, South Africa, while the rest of you enjoy watching Bonnie as well as Rolene Strauss do some exercise.
Awesome. This loft smells absolutely amazing right now. If you spend a lot of your time on the road or work long hours, then you probably struggle to fit in a trip to the gym into your schedule. So today we have a fitness instructor, Marc Anthony. No, not the singer, but equally good looking. And he's going to show us some quick and easy exercise routines that can be done in a hotel room or the comfort of your own home. Right, Marc?
Right, basically, just follow me. Let's get the shoulders warmed up. So we're going to loosen up nicely over there. Always important to get the shoulders going, blood flowing. Keep it going, rolling forward. Let's roll a little bit backwards.
Why is the warm-up key when exercising?
Basically, like I said, it loosens the muscle fibers. It also gets the joint stretched. So basically, you won't stretch it or pull it.
Right.
So causing injury.
Less injury.
Less injury, correct.
Okay.
Right, let's loosen up the neck a little bit. Opposite direction.
And is this what you're about to show us, a full-on workout?
That's basically a full-on 5-minute little workout that we can. Right, so basically let's
Comes
start.
in handy when you're traveling.
There we go.
Yes,
So let's start. Let's get the lower warmed up a little bit. Quads, glutes, hamstrings. Let's hold it down over there. So we're just holding that position. That's very nice.
Why is it starting to feel like leg day? This is a warm-up.
It's Monday, not Wednesday.
So we're tucking it in over here. So let's stretch out the hamstrings a little bit. Lower it down.
All right.
There we go. Right. We've all got a chair. So let's take
awesome.
the pillow, throw it on the floor. Okay. This is just to prevent the elbows from getting
From
sore.
hurting.
Correct.
So thoughtful of you. Okay.
So let's go. Let's hold basically, this is what we're calling a plank. So we're holding the
plank.
plank. There we go.
Yes.
Perfect position.
I'm very familiar with the plank
Are
in
you?
yoga.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Right, are you familiar with right arm out?
Oh, no.
Let's go.
I didn't see that
Left
coming.
leg up. Left leg
Oh,
up.
my word.
Holding it there. 3, 2, 1. Put it down.
Oh, wow.
Let's take the left arm out.
Okay.
You'll
And
only
we
need
go
5
right leg
minutes
back.
of this.
Why am I struggling to do this?
And we're holding for 10,
Okay.
9, count with me, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're stretching out at the back.
Ooh, hallelujah.
Really nice. Let's go up again. One more time.
I had a big workout this morning, so you'll forgive me.
This is just a little stretch, don't worry. So what we're going to do, let's extend up into the push-up position. And let's kick some knees in there. So let's go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You
And which part of the body does this work?
This is basically working your entire core and abdominal area.
Okay.
Yes. So for that tight little tummies, keep going.
And love handles.
There we go. So let's hold it over there. Stabilizing the core again. 8, 7, 6, 5. Raises up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right, let's take it back up.
We are doing a brief outline, right? We don't have to do a whole
Right, let's just
5-minute
grab one.
workout.
Sorry, grab one of this chair.
Okay.
It's one for you.
And this is all furniture you can find in a hotel room, obviously.
Yes.
It's one for you.
Perfect.
Right, what we're going to do, we're going to open up a little bit, grabbing each chair, okay, in the one hand.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What
So
else
all
can
we
you
do, we
use
lean.
if you don't have a chair, a bar stool?
Bar stool, you can use anything. Basically
Anything.
Yes, so we hold it over there.
Magazine
Let's
holder.
take that up.
Okay.
Then we go down. Up. There we go.
And how many reps of this would you do?
I would go for 12 to 16 reps.
Okay.
The high repetition keeps the blood flowing and also therefore enabling cutting and toning.
Okay.
Switch to the other side.
Is it better to do a lot of reps or to have a big
Always
weight?
better to do a lot of reps,
lot of reps.
especially for toning. If you're going to have a big weight, you're basically going to just bulk up and put on some heavy muscle.
Rolene, what's your exercise routine like?
So let's keep this in the
Well,
middle.
basically anything, but at the moment it's more skipping rope than anything
Okay.
else.
So let's hold it in the middle, just there. What we're going to do, 3, let's raise up.
Yeah, because you can take your skipping rope anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Hold that there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Put the chair away.
Yes.
Awesome.
And we can go on the edge of here. Okay, so now we're going to get this spot. Ladies, we all know
Yes,
about...
my favorite part.
There we go.
That's why we don't wave like this, we wave like this.
wave
So we
like
don't
this,
have the
yes.
flabby arm at the bottom.
Awesome. That's a great tip.
So we just put our hands on the edge of the seat, feet forward, toes up, heels flat down. And what we do, we just drop a little bit and up. Give me 6, give me 5, 4, 3,
3,
2, and 1. And let's hold it down. 8,
Okay.
7.
Can you bend your
6,
knees to put less pressure on
5.
your back?
Yes, you can. You can do
Okay,
that.
okay.
Whereas it has injuries, you may do that.
Okay.
Let's go up, take it back,
Right.
sit forward, and we stretch down.
This is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch, basically.
Okay,
And you can stretch to the side.
awesome. So are we working all the major muscle groups
All
in
the
this
major
5-minute
muscle groups,
workout?
correct.
Okay.
We twist into the side.
Oops. Okay, perfect.
And that's the other thing that I've realized as well.
more
Anything is
down.
better than nothing.
Correct.
Yes.
5 minutes, 10 minutes. If you only have 15 minutes, you usually think, oh, it's not worth it, you know,
Let's
let
go
me
back
just
to
leave
the
it.
floor
Right.
with the pillars up.
Are we doing that same sequence again? Or a
No,
different one?
different sequence.
Okay, cool.
So we've got the pillars up.
Awesome.
you're
Well,
right.
we carry on with this. After the break, we're back on the couch with Tim and Jonah. Remember, we're taking your calls live, so you have any banting-related questions, call us on 083 913 3728. Tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the hashtag Afternoon Express, or comment on our Facebook page. We'll be right back.
Express yourself. Express yourself.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express on SABC3. Now, welcome back, man. Very excited. Today is all about a Motivation Monday. We're trying to make you eat healthier, live healthier. But I'm joined again by Professor Tim and Jono. We're discussing banting. So if you have any questions, pick up your phone right now and dial us 083 913 3278. Now, Professor, earlier on, I was mentioning that you are 66 years old. You've run over 70 marathons. Now, how healthy or how important is it, to exercise if you're trying to live a healthy lifestyle?
It's really important. Exercise is crucial, but you can't outrun a bad diet. And that's critical. So if your diet is wrong, you can do all the exercises you like. You're not going to reverse it. So that's the key. So if you have to exercise to control your weight, your diet's wrong. If your diet's right, you don't have to control weight. So see, the exercise is brilliant for everything except weight control. And that's where we got it all wrong. So we tell people, go and burn the calories. Unfortunately, if you've got the wrong diet, you burn the calories, but you're just hungry. And the key to banting is that it changes your relationship to food because it takes away hunger. And what we've done, as we said, as we were discussing in the earlier section, because we become so addicted to highly processed foods, which are low in fat, we're always hungry. So Jono and I, because we eat the banting diet, I can look at that food, that beautiful food that he prepared, I actually feel nothing about it. I don't feel hungry at all.
I'm like, I need to eat that food right now. But Jono, talking about that beautiful pasta dish that you made, what makes it banting
So
friendly?
what makes it banting? You obviously want to avoid all carbohydrates, or as many carbohydrates as you can.
Okay.
And you also don't want to fear fat. A lot of people think that they have to force feed themselves fat. The main thing is that you shouldn't fear saturated fat. So what makes it banting, it's high in good fats, it's got lots of cream, and it's low in carbohydrates. So instead of using normal pasta, which is made of wheat, also we want to avoid gluten, we've just used fresh vegetables. So everyone always says, banting's so unhealthy for you. You eat so much fat, and you can't, and where are all the vegetables? So that is a dish with plenty of vegetables, a little bit of protein, and some good fats.
But with that said, Jono, then how important is it to use measurements, to measure your food, to make sure how much you are taking in every day?
That's
How
a
important?
really good question. So I don't think, and I'm sure Prof will back me up, you shouldn't actually have to weigh all of your food. Your brain is supposed to tell you how much to eat. And if you're eating the right types of foods, your brain won't tell you to eat more, and you shouldn't starve. So if you're eating the right foods, you shouldn't need to measure what you eat. However, if you're trying to reprogram your brain to tell what the right amount of food to be eating is, then you should avoid carbohydrates, because carbohydrates drive your appetite. So to start off with, you count your carbohydrates, and as soon as you've sort of got your trainer wheels and you got your balance, then you sort of then you can stop eating, stop counting, and just kind of carry on with life.
Right. I just realized I've been doing it all wrong. All wrong. But let's go to Benoni. Anne, welcome to Afternoon. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, there you are. How are you?
Well,
Very well, thank you. I understand that you have a question for Prof.
well, thank you.
What's your question, Anne?
So I'm just talking to you guys on the banking. And what I've been doing lately is I have been cheating on weekends with sugar and carbs. I am diabetic, I haven't lost weight, but I also haven't put on weight. Is that okay for now? I'm going to have a treat like that?
All right, lovely question. Thank you so much, Anne. Thank you very, very much for that.
I'm not going to answer the question specifically,
Okay.
but for all diabetics, 25 grams of carbohydrate a day is all you may eat, because it's utterly crucial that when you are diabetic, you must keep your glucose levels down. But more importantly, you must keep your insulin and your drugs that you need, you must keep minimize them in order to live a long and happy life. So there's no cheating. Unfortunately, if you're diabetic, I'm diabetic, we don't cheat.
Fantastic.
We eat 25 grams of carbohydrate, absolute maximum for the rest of our lives. And that's it. So there's no cheating, please.
And you heard Professor Tim, no cheating. Thank you so much for your call. But let's go to Twitter. We got a tweet from Amanfuri, says, is it possible to do bodybuilding on a low-carb, high-fat diet? Who wants to take that? Yes.
Yeah. You know, because the idea that you have to eat lots of carbohydrates to get energy, it's not true. It is carbohydrates, you can only do three things with them. You either burn them as a fuel, or you store them as carbohydrate in the body, or you store it as fat. That's it. You cannot build muscle, you can't build brains, you can't build anything from carbohydrate. So how would a high carbohydrate diet make you big and muscular? It can't do it. So the reality is, as long as you're getting enough protein and you're getting the other source of energy from your fats, you're fine. No, I mean, there's a very famous rugby player in Australia who went on this diet recently. He's the top player in the world in his position. And he put on 2 kilograms of muscle and lost 3 kilograms of fat. And this is a guy who's absolutely the peak of his profession. Wow. So we've got lots of, and in fact, one of the strongest men in the world is on this diet. So you need protein to build muscle, and you need a little bit of energy, and you get your energy from fat. You do not need carbohydrates to build muscles.
All right. We have another caller for you, Professor Tim. I think, you know, everybody at home is so intrigued with this diet. Chanel, welcome to Afternoon Express on SABC3. How are you?
Hi, Bonang.
Hi.
Hi, Prof. I'd just like to ask, alcohol, is it considered a carbohydrate?
Girl, I've been waiting for that call. I've been waiting for that question. Professor, is alcohol, champagne, vodka, darling? What do we do? What
Unfortunately,
is it?
it is a carbohydrate equivalent. So what we tell people is, if you want to lose weight, cut the alcohol completely until you're to the right weight that you want to be at. Then you may reintroduce carbohydrate, the alcohol. And if your weight starts to go up again, well, then you know what the solution is.
Completely, everything, every single thing. Apparently, red wine is good for you, Professor. Come on, give us some.
Well, let's hand it over to Donna.
Red wine? Can we have red wine?
Yeah, so look, you know, the fastest way to get it right is to go cold turkey. The thing with alcohol is it's not high in carbohydrates, it's high in calories. That's the first thing. But the second thing, well, we don't really count calories. What's more important is that it lowers your inhibitions and it, you know, makes you lose control. So if you're trying to stay really focused, and it increases your appetite. And remember, we're trying to program the brain to be better at managing our appetite. So as soon as you throw something into the mix, you're going to derail the train that's been on the straight and narrow. So alcohol doesn't necessarily make you fat directly, but it certainly won't help your cause if you're trying to be focused.
Jono.
That's very diplomatic, I thought.
But Professor Tim, you know, what I want to know is what's your wish, your dream? What do you want for South Africans in terms of health, diet and lifestyle, with your findings, with your books, with your research?
Well, the world faces a major problem. Diabetes and obesity are epidemic around the world, and they're out of control, and they're going to destroy medicine as a profession. We cannot afford to treat all the diabetics that are being generated. Okay. The cause of the disease is described in Real Meal Revolution. We know what the problem is, and we know the cure. I'm just asking South Africans and the South African medical profession and the South African government to say, actually, we know what to do about it. Let's do something about it. Let's make South Africa the first country in the world that reverses its obesity and diabetes epidemic. We can do it.
We can do it. We really, really can. If you want more information about Professor's books, all you need to do is log on to our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. We'll have all that information, plus that delicious recipe courtesy of Jono. But don't go anywhere. We'll continue the conversation after the break. We'll be right back.
The Afternoon Express team is going green. Join us every Tuesday at 4 p.m. until September as we bring you the most innovative trends in sustainable fashion, food, decor and design, as well as handy tips to help you reduce your carbon footprint.
Answer our Go Green question every Tuesday and stand a chance to win a R1,000 Woolies gift card every week.
Plus, if you answer all 12 questions correctly, you'll be entered into our draw for the ultimate grand prize valued at more than R500,000.
Including a dream sustainable kitchen makeover from Cordev worth R300,000. Also up to R250,000 worth of home upgrades so you can live off the grid. Plus food and homeware from Woolworths valued at R75,000. And a R25,000 towards a school of your choice with My School.
So go big, go green with Afternoon Express every Tuesday at 4 p.m. to win these amazing prizes.
All right, welcome back to Afternoon Express right here on SABC3. We're about to eat. I'm very happy to eat. But before we do that, we do have a caller on the line. How are you doing? Welcome to SABC3.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, NEERASHA. Very well, thank you. What's your question?
I'd like to ask Professor, if you're a vegetarian, what sort of protein do you use instead of meat?
That's a real good question.
Yeah.
And what we ask is you perhaps to try dairy and eggs are very good sources of protein. Otherwise, from other legumes, you can get good proteins. But we generally encourage you to take lots of dairy and eggs if possible. And the best thing is if you can occasionally cheat with fish.
Well, there you go, NEERASHA. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's still there. Thank you, sweetheart. All right, let's go to Facebook.
Yes, we have Tuli P on Facebook who says, what can be done to motivate and encourage young girls in the small towns to groom them to become responsible women of tomorrow? Most have qualities and potential to make it in the modeling world, but due to lack of knowledge, they end up falling victim to negative influences. Rolene, that's a question for you.
I think that's a perfect question. Thank you very much, especially for me growing up in a very small town. You know, I think that, yes, the environment that you find yourself in plays a role in who you become, and it's best to have the right friends because if you choose your friends right, then you don't really fall under peer pressure as much. And just remember to stay yourself and stay the same.
So I know friends should stay by your side all the time, right? So Bonnie, can I ask you a favor?
Yes.
I know we have to dish up soon, but can I ask you just to take away Rolene's knife and fork because I have a special set of utensils that I think she needs to utilize. We've heard that Rolene is an absolute champion when it comes to using chopsticks, particularly around billionaires and influential people. So
there you go.
we thought you could have your dinner today with. Would you mind serving us with your chopsticks? Let's see if we can get a piece of chicken over to Professor Tim Noakes'
See, this
plate.
is how I diet.
Well,
I eat
thank you.
chopsticks.
Well, good luck to Miss World. Thank you so much for coming through. She did it! To all our wonderful guests, Jono, thank you so much for coming through. And Professor Tim, I learned so much from you this afternoon. If you want any information, all of the recipes, log on to our website right now, afternoonexpress.co.za. We'll see you tomorrow, 4 p.m. right here on SABC3. From all of us, it's good evening and happy eating.
Happy eating.
Bye. Tomorrow on Afternoon Express, we chat to media personality Shadow Twala. Plus, it's the launch of our 12-week Go Green Sustainability series, where we discuss what it means to go off the grid. Remember to keep your ears open for clues and enter our Go Green competition with prizes valued at more than R500,000.
Another feel-good production.
Join us next time for more fabulous fun inspired by First for Women on Afternoon Express. For an insurance quote, call 0861 11 18 44 or SMS FIRST to 49267.